Good morning. I'm the Reverend Rosemary Bray McNatt, and it is my honor to serve as president at Starr School for the Ministry. I guess I don't need to tell you what a year it has been and what a school year it has been for Starr King. We are stepping out in ways that have surprised many of us, sometimes even me. But it has been a glorious time, even amid all of the pressures and heartbreak and sadness and grief that we feel about the nation and the world right now. You know, I have to say that since September, when we opened school, understanding that we were about to be visited by our accrediting body, ATS, we gathered all kinds of information for their benefit so that they could understand what kind of school they were evaluating. And as we gathered the things that we had done together, the plans we've made, the educational records that we had to show, the projects that we had undergone, and answered all the questions for them, what became clear to us is that we are who we say we are, and we do what we say we do. That has not always been easy. In the midst of the turmoil and the awakening of the conscience of the nation and the world about the dangers and the pitfalls and the deeply ingrained culture that is white supremacy culture, in understanding all those things, the world has finally begun to catch up with Starr King. Almost 30 years ago, we asked as an institution what we might do and become to help create the ministers and religious leaders of the 21st century. At the heart of that, we knew, was a different kind of justice making, a different kind of view about the marginalized people and the oppressions that affected everyone. We understood that in order to disrupt those systems, we needed to help train and form people who were brave enough and spirit-filled enough to do the work that had to be done to change our nation. It was not without cost. For many years, Starr King has endured a great many pressures to be a different kind of school than we are. But we understood ourselves as being the kind of school that Unitarian Universalists needed for the ministries they needed. And so it has been a remarkable year in understanding how much and how well we have prepared our students for the times in which we live. We've helped people understand the importance of the interdependent web of all existence. And we've helped people understand the unending search for justice and peace, and how we must be a part of that search all our lives. It takes religious leaders who can help congregations and communities prepare themselves for moments like the moments we're living through. And I'm very proud to have been here almost at the beginning, when I was still a brand new board member at Starr King. And we began to embark on this exploration of who we wanted to become. But in order to keep doing those things, a school has to change and grow, just like people have to change and grow. And in the wake of the report that we received at ATS, in which they specifically congratulated us on this view of the world and how we wanted to train teachers, leaders, and spiritual guides to respond to that world. We knew that other things needed to happen and that we needed to ensure our sustainability going forward. And so we did a lot of things this year really quickly. And some of those decisions that we made were hard ones. We sold our building, the only home most of us have ever known, and made an agreement, a letter of intent, to move the campus to Mills College. Mills College is a secular version of ourselves in some way. We have a common ancestor in Aurelia Henry Reinhardt, who was the longest serving president of Mills College, and at the same time sat on the Starr King board and was a member of the Commission on Appraisal in the 1930s. We have made the decision to leave Graduate Theological Union. It's a decision not without sadness, but a necessary one. And we've also made this decision to embark on a capital campaign to help to fuel and fund the scholarships and faculty support that we're going to need in the coming years. I want to say a little more about Mills because we're so excited about the possibilities there, because our mission and values are in such alignment. We look forward to an energizing partnership with Mills, especially with their graduate schools of business and education. First, though, we have to move out of the building, and that's what's going on this summer. It is an exciting time for us. It is a time filled with possibility for us. But like everything else, it is a time in which we are stepping out into the unknown. That's a very difficult thing to do at a time when so many other things in the world are unsettled. But even in the midst of that, we have confidence. We know who we are and why we are. You have gotten a chance to see this morning some of the people who come to Starr King and leave transformed and empowered for their ministry. You'll see other examples in the course of our time together this morning. But I want to thank you for all you have done to support this work, to support our school, especially at this crucial time when we are making transitions into new ways of being and learning. Some of the things that we've done have been traditional for us, learning remotely, being online, and teaching and learning via Zoom is pretty common for Starr King. So it was that kind of nimbleness from the very beginning that allowed us to absorb some of the shock of the pandemic in which we now live. Thankfully, that will continue, and we have made plans for school to continue and to reassure our students that even though they might be at home on lockdown, Starr King is very much alive and well and teaching. We've done that this past semester. We expect to teach remotely this coming semester, and then we will reevaluate in the same way we reevaluate everything else. I hope that this morning you will have an opportunity to ask questions of myself and Sophia during a Q&A. If there are things you'd like to know or questions that you have, it would be my pleasure to answer them. And once again, I want to thank you. Your support, your belief in our vision, your commitment to the school and to its students and to its future make our future very bright indeed.